Okay, so now we did imagery and how imagery can add to the mood and tone. Now we're going to explore with figurative language and how figurative language can contribute to the mood and tone. But before we get to that, we have to stop and think about, well, for one, what is figurative language? Okay, so when we go back to our little anchor chart, we have figurative language here. The main ones that 6th grade concentrates on is simile, hyperbole, personification, and metaphor. We really don't go into onomatopoeia or alliteration, maybe sometimes, but the these are the main ones we concentrate on. So remember, simile is just using like or as, such as this room is as hot as an oven. You're comparing two things using like or as. Hyperbole is just an extreme exaggeration, things that really can't happen, such as I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. No one can really eat a horse unless they're a zombie, or saying it's been 1,000 years since I've taken a nap. Well, we can't live 1,000 years, so that can't happen. But so that's an hyperbole. It's just an exaggeration. Personification is giving non-human things human characteristics, such as the tree danced in the wind. Trees really can't dance. Or the cat whispered in my ears. Even though a cat is alive, it's not human, and so we're going to give it human characteristics, okay? That's personification. And if you get confused about it, remember, person. Person is a human being, right? And then we have metaphors comparing two things, but it doesn't use like or as, such as this room is an oven, or the sun is a dragon's breath today. So I'm saying the sun is like a dragon's breath, but I'm not using the like or as, okay? So it's important that you can identify this. Don't get me wrong, it's good that you know this. However, it's important that you're trying to understand why the author is using this. What is he trying to achieve with the figurative language, right? So as you're reading, or if you come across figurative language, you need to ask yourself these questions right over here. What is the purpose or meaning of this figurative language, and why did the author use it here? And how does this help me visualize or see what is being described? So if I say, man, I am so hungry I can eat a horse, what are you thinking about? Or if I said he runs as fast as a cheetah, what do you see when you see the figurative language? And will the figurative language help you understand tone and mood better? Okay, can you feel what the author is telling you, or can you sympathize with them? So, like I said, it's important that you identify it, but you also have to explain what the figurative language means. So here we are. We're going to explore a little bit further with figurative language. So I have here as an incomplete thought. So basically, we need to do more than just say, oh, that's a simile, or that's a metaphor. That's great, but that's an incomplete thought. So let me read this quote from Jackie Robinson from a book this was written in. I had become the first black player in the major leagues. I was proud of that, and yet I was uneasy. I was proud to be in the hurricane eye of a significant breakthrough, and to be used to prove that a sport can't be called national if blacks are barred from it. So I have the simile highlighted for you, right? Okay. Not the simile, I'm sorry. It's personification. Robinson isn't literally in the eye of a hurricane. That would be crazy. Now, if you don't know what the eye of a hurricane is, or an eye of a storm, I think I have a picture of it. Right here. This is the eye of the storm. Inside the eye of the storm, it's very calm, but on the outside, it's very powerful. There's wind. Talking about like strong winds. There's rain, tornadoes, lightning, thunder. This is a very dangerous and very powerful being on the outside of the eye of the storm. So the eye of the storm is calm, but on the outside, it's dangerous. So Robert isn't saying that he's the eye of the hurricane. Because like I said, this is, I'm sorry, this is more of a metaphor, not personification. I'm sorry, this is a metaphor. Because he's comparing himself to an eye of a hurricane. And when you're comparing something, either a simile or a metaphor. And since he didn't use like or as, this is a metaphor. And this is what we call incomplete thinking, because you identified it. And it's not just enough to identify the figurative language, but now we have to know what the author is trying to convey or say to the reader. So let's explore our complete thinking, all right, this complete thought. I'm going to reread the passage again. I had become the first black player in the major leagues. I was proud of that, and yet I was uneasy. If you do not know what uneasy means, you can look it up in the dictionary, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you what it is. Uneasy means like you don't feel comfortable with something. You're kind of anxious about to do something, or maybe you're in an uncomfortable situation. So maybe you feel uneasy about taking an upcoming test. So just a little nervous, right? I was proud to be in the hurricane eye of a significant breakthrough, and to be used to prove that a sport can't be called national if blacks are barred from it. So, what is this metaphor being compared to? I was proud to be in the hurricane eye of a significant breakthrough. The author uses a metaphor to compare being the first black player in the major leagues to being in the eye of the hurricane, the calm of the storm. Remember I told you about the hurricane. Okay, so this helped the readers understand that the author is proud of his achievement, but he also feels surrounded by danger. Okay, so that's what he's saying. He's like, yeah, I'm proud that I got this far, but there's a lot of danger around me, because he is the first black man to play for the major leagues. He feels anxious because he did not know how people will react. So, and that's when we kind of bring in our tone and our mood. So his tone is wanting to do his best to prove himself, right? Like he's proud of himself. You can see that. That's what this figurative language is saying to us. However, the mood, like when I read it, the mood makes me feel excited that he's ready to take on, or he took on this challenge. So that's how we complete our thought with figurative language. We have to say, well, what is it telling the reader? What is it trying to show me? And then I have to bring it back to the tone, and what is it trying to say to the reader? So let's look at another example. So this is from the same book. Branch Rickey, the president of the Brooklyn Dodgers, had rudely awakened America. And I have the figurative language highlighted. He was a man with high ideals, and he was also a shrewd businessman. Mr. Rickey shocked some of his fellow baseball tycoons and angered others by deciding to smash the unwritten law that kept blacks out of the big leagues. So, rudely awaken America is personification. Therefore, the author is not trying to say America woke up from a long nap or a deep sleep. No, what he's trying to convey or say was America was outraged or upset that a black man was playing for the major leagues when none had yet to do this before. So rudely awaken, okay, America. Like I said, literally, we're not saying that America woke up from a nap. We're just saying that America, when they saw this for the first time, they were upset by this. So, and that's what this personification is trying to tell the reader. And then when we bring it back to the tone or mood, the tone is, it's kind of shocking, right? You're like, wow, rudely awakened America. And because they want you to get this idea that America was upset by this. And so what do you feel from hearing about America was outraged this? So how does this make you feel? Okay, now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to explain in this video. I should have a checkpoint. You're going to stop and you're going to answer this question, all right? So I took an example from 11, and you're going to tell me a couple of things about it. For one, I don't want you to identify what this figurative language is. I want you to explain What is this figurative language trying to tell the reader? So let's read. Only today, I wish I didn't have only 11 years, rattling inside me like pennies in a tin Band-Aid box. Today, I wish I was 102 instead of 11, because if I was 102, I've known what to say when Mrs. Price put that wet sweater on my desk. So think about the simile I've highlighted for you. Only today, I wish I didn't only have 11 years rattling inside me like pennies in a tin Band-Aid box. Think about what the author is trying to say or show to the reader. Is the author really trying to say she's like pennies in a tin box, in a Band-Aid box? No. So what is she actually trying to tell or show the reader? And then, what is the tone of this? How does she sound? How is she sounding like? And how does this make you feel? So you're going to answer a couple of these questions on the checkpoint here. And let me know if you need any help.